Hi everyone, welcome to the January 16th, 2020 edition of the Smith Transport Newscast. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but today in Roaring Spring, it's like we've had all the seasons in one day. It was so windy, and currently it's a winter wonderland with snow everywhere, or I would be outside showing you the new veteran trucks. So I wanted to just give you a quick overview. The news this week will come from Rob in maintenance, Isaac in operations, Jamie in customer service, a special announcement with Todd Smith, Barry Smith, Dane Smith, and Tommy Smith with Joe Musselman bringing you some important news. Last but not least, you'll see our brand new, the first of several veteran wrap trucks in our fleet, honoring our defenders of freedom, our veterans. This beautiful truck is here on our yard here in Roaring Spring. So I invite you in to take a tour and check it out. Take pictures, send them to me on Facebook when you see it. We love to share those. Next up, we need some drivers that aren't shy. I haven't found a driver yet when I'm out and about with my camera that will agree to do an interview with me, sit down and talk, or introduce yourself. So if you're at Roaring Spring, come to the dispatch window and ask for Jen. I'll bring my camera down. I promise it'll be quick and painless. And we would like to get to meet all of you. So please make time for me. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you guys next week. I'm in the maintenance conference room today here at Smith Transport with Rob Sabo, who's our idle support and accident estimate specialist. Long title. Rob, you've been with us almost 27 years, and you spent the last 7 of those working in our idle, controlling that cost. And I wanted, after I talked to Josh last week about the APU, he mentioned the savings to run the APU over idling the truck. And I wanted to ask you some questions about that today. About cost savings. What is the true gallon for gallon equivalent?
Well, when our fleet idles, our 15-liter motors, we idle. It takes 1.5 gallons of diesel to idle a tractor, and to run the APU, it uses about 1 pint to 1.5 pints of fuel an hour. So you're not gaining anything by idling the tractor over utilizing the APU. Only we're saving on our fuel.
Wow. And why, I know you have drivers, you have a list, and you keep track of our idle and you reach out to drivers, but why would a driver idle over using the APU? What do you see? What reasons?
A lot of it, I believe, is an educational issue. They either don't feel the need or don't understand the cost of the diesel that we're essentially blowing out the stacks. So a lot of it's educational. When there is an issue with the APU, the only thing they need to do is send a macro 12 in and notify us to let us know they're having issues, and we will get them into a shop and get it repaired.
Is there any benefit between idling and running the APU? I mean, does idling the truck give a driver more than the APU unit?
No, absolutely not. The APU will do everything and anything that the driver thinks that they're accomplishing by idling the vehicle. The APU is a self-contained diesel engine. It runs your air conditioning. It runs your heat. It gives you 110, your power, to run your appliances in your truck. And we also run a 110 cord from the APU to the block heater. While the APU is running, it will warm your block as well. So there is no benefit to idling the tractor over utilizing the APU.
Oh, good. I know that you've made lots of strides in this and educating drivers. And again, what macro would they send if they have any issues at all with their APU?
A macro 12 is a breakdown macro that will go to our emergency road service department. Upon them getting your complaint on your failure, they will go through a troubleshooting tree and try to resolve the issue over the road, opposed to routing back to the terminal if required. They'll ask you to check your breakers, check your fuses, your belts, and your fluids. And if they can't get you working over the road, at that point, a batch email is sent out, and they will get you either to Roaring Spring, PA, or Ellenwood for APU repairs.
Oh, awesome. Well, I know the cost savings. I've seen the numbers. It's significant. if we would start to use those APUs and cut down on our idle time. Now, what goal do you set for drivers on average? What percentage of idle is average for a driver who's doing all the right things?
On an APU equipped truck, we as a company expect 10% or lower idle time, which is totally attainable. I mean, out of the 600 plus APU equipped trucks we have, this week, over 400 were compliant. And there was 135 that were above 15% or higher. And at that point, I reach out to all the drivers, explain to them what their idle time is, what we expect, and prompt them to give me a failure on the APU or why they're idling the truck.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for your time. I hope that this answers some questions that our driving fleet or administration staff may have had about our APUs, and we'll work together as a team to cut down the idle time. Thanks, Rob.
Well, thank you, and thank you to our driving force. We appreciate everything you do for us out there, and everything each and every one of you do out there contributes to the bottom line savings as a company. If you knock your idle down 1% a week, it will, on an APU fleet, it will save us over $1,200. So everything you do out there, every little bit you can do, helps the bottom line of the company, and we appreciate what you do.
Thanks. Hi everyone. So today I'm sitting down with Isaac Deal. Isaac is one of our driver managers here at our Roaring Spring facility, and we're talking about a sensitive subject, overnight parking, driver parking, trying to avoid paying for parking. Isaac has a few suggestions for you if you're looking for free parking. Isaac, what can drivers do?
I think the best thing that they could do is, the first thing is, when they realize that they're going to need a parking spot and the place they're delivering to doesn't have it, is to give their DM first thing as soon as they realize, and the DM can contact the customer service that we have during the day, and we could reach out to other customers in the area and find the best place for available free parking.
Okay, so contacting their driver manager, not another contact in the building, the driver manager is the best contact.
Driver manager is the best contact for pretty much anything a driver needs.
Okay, and we talked about a lot of times drivers are in need of parking at night, but like you said when we were starting to talk, it's best to figure that out when you get your trip and you're starting to do your pre-plan where you're going to take your break, so you can contact your DM and not have to contact extended coverage. They're not quite set up to find a safe place.
That's anything in this business is best to be planned out ahead of time.
Yeah,
so
it's always good to have a plan A, plan B, plan C in case accidents and traffic happen.
Very true.
So their best plan is to call their DM, call them early during the day, light hours, to help them find a safe, free place to park.
Yeah, because if you get an extra hour or two out of your day working, instead of shutting down 2 hours prior, you might be able to deliver earlier. You get more money. You make more for that day. Get more miles out of it.
Right. Awesome. I talked to some drivers on the yard too. They gave me some suggestions of if you're caught in traffic or a road construction and it puts you back and your original place to park becomes not available, or that plan falls apart. If you just Google the nearest Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart, once you get there, that you should go in and talk to the manager, explain that you're out of hours, you need a safe place to park, and they said they've never been turned down. And a lot of times the store manager will tell them where to park to keep them out of the way and to avoid being in the way in the morning when employees or deliveries start to happen at the facility. So that was an option I heard too.
Yeah, there's always a solution to it. So between contacting local customers and being professional and just asking for permission, there's a solution one way or another.
Well, thank you so much, Isaac. And if you guys have any questions, please contact your DMs. Thank you. Hi everyone, so I'm here today with Jamie Umbauer. Jamie was just promoted to Senior Corporate Account Manager, so congratulations on that. And we're going to talk about directions today. So Jamie, I had some questions about directions that were wrong, and I wanted to know if you could tell the fleet how they can fix those.
When you come across directions that may be incorrect or may have changed, because we do have directions that have been in there for many years, and we know roads change, landmarks change. When that happens to you, and it will from time to time, please let your driver manager know. You can send in the information over your Qualcomm. Let the driver manager know specifically what has changed, or if there are new landmarks. Let them know specifics. And then when the driver manager gets that information from you, that's passed along to the account manager. We make those necessary changes in the system to make sure that we have the most accurate and up-to-date directions.
Oh, that's wonderful. So that seems easy process. We just have to work together as a team to communicate,
Right.
to get it to you. And then what about, I've had a few instances of no directions being in a code that was sent to a driver. So what can they do if there aren't directions?
If there aren't directions, again, let your driver manager know right away. Typically when that happens, customer service is already aware of that because it's probably a new location that we've never been before. It may be a load that we just got because we needed to get a load for you right away. So it might be a last minute load and the directions haven't been put in the system yet.
Right.
So when that happens, we get that information into the system, then it falls to our scheduling team that will contact either the shipper or the consignee and get those specific directions, along with whether they need a scheduled appointment or if they are first come, first serve,
Oh, yeah.
as well as asking whether or not there is overnight parking.
Oh, yes, definitely. It's a hot topic with us, finding safe, free parking places for all of you. That's wonderful, Jamie. It's that communication again. When you get them, you have to let us know. You have to communicate that you need those directions, or if there aren't directions, please make sure you take down the route you used to get there so you can pass that on to give directions to
Right.
help us out if you find anything's incorrect. Jamie, you had an awesome theory behind the word safe, and I
Yes.
wanted you to share it with everyone.
Yes. When we are thinking about directions, we think of safe. S, we want the safest possible directions for our professional drivers. A, we want the most accurate directions. So if you're out there, you're going to a location and you find better directions, let us know. We'll update the directions that are most accurate for you, the one doing the driving. And F, we want the fastest directions. We want the fastest, safest route to your location, your destination. And E, we want the easiest directions, the easiest route to get you there safely and on time.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. Congratulations again on your promotion.
Thanks, Jen.
And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Jamie here in customer service, and she'll help you through any ideas or suggestions you may have to.
Welcome everybody. Today we're honored to be with two special people, Tommy Smith and the late Jamie Smith, and we're the founder of Smith Transport's office, Barry Smith. Today's an exciting day, and the excitement that we want to talk about would be how we will go moving forward, how we're going to award the Million Mile Club, Driver of the Month Club, those types of things, and we're going to personalize it. So it's no longer going to be referenced as the Smith Transport Million Mile Club, Smith Transport Monthly Driver of the Month Club. It's going to be the Tommy Smith Million Mile Club and the late Jamie Smith Monthly Club. These two fellows represent a very deep passion for Smith Transport. They helped build the company, and we will never forget what they did for this company. It means so much to all of us throughout the organization. And when you think of a professional driver, we want you to be thinking about Tommy Smith and Jamie Smith. It means a lot. With that, I want to turn it over to our founder, chairman of the board, Barry Smith.
Good morning, all, and I want to say this morning that we are so happy to be a part of this Million Mile Club that we're presenting, and a couple of the candidates we're talking, Tommy Smith and Jamie Smith, happen to be some of the first people to help bring the company to where it is today. We had quality professional drivers out of them, and with Jamie, the late Jamie Smith, which is Tommy's son, and Jamie done so much for this company, and he was a customer service person. He was an exceptional driver for the company. He took care of one of our #1 accounts, and we're so proud to have him to be one of the recipients of the 2 million mile, and Tommy with 5 million miles under his belt. But what they've done for the company beyond truck driving, they know what it takes to make other truckers out there be proud of Smith Transport. And I can say I was a part of being a million mile driver as well. And thanks to Tommy, he taught me how to do that. But I gotta say here today and congratulate Todd for bringing this to the table to be a part of the new Tommy Smith Million Mile Club and the Jamie Smith Million Mile Club. And in doing this, it takes somebody special, such as our operations team, and the leader of that team is Mr. Joe Musselman. And Joe would be responsible to make sure that we can produce a lot more million mile drivers out there. So with that, I'll turn it over to Joe Musselman to talk about his vision of our new Million Mile Club for Tommy and Jamie Smith.
Okay, thank you. It's a real honor to be sitting here with these Smiths, the legends of the Smith family, man. It's a big deal. One thing I wanted to tell you, Tommy, part of our operations team, and Dane is really engaged with this as well, is just talking to drivers all the time. And I can't tell you how many drivers that I've talked to that personally mentioned your name and have personally just been excited to drive and move up and down the highway and byways with you here each and every day. So just because you're not around the yard still, your name comes up a good bit. And guys remember you, and they remember seeing you running up and down the road. So it's going to be a real honor to have our Golden Eagle Million Mile Award being named in your honor. So that's a big deal. And then maybe we were just going to have Dane share a few things about his brother and just about that award that we'll present every month, the Jamie Smith Driver of the Month Award, and maybe just share a little bit about that, Dane.
First off, I think from my perspective, I learned from the best. These two gentlemen right here, my dad and my cousin Larry, and been with the company since it started. And I've told the story many times that when I grow up, and I've grown up, but I always tell the story that if I could be half the man my father is, I'll be a pretty good guy.
Yeah, there you go.
So we couldn't pick a better guy to name this thing after. And as far as my brother Jamie, he's been with the companies. He spent his whole career here, some 35, 37 years. Passed away suddenly in October, and he came to Barry some years ago and was having some issues with an account. He said, I'll take it and I'll fix it for you. And 15 years later, he was still doing that account, kind of managing it from his view in the seat, and done a great job. And so I couldn't think of two better guys that we named these awards after, and I'm just proud to be part of it, part of the family, and looking forward to many more years of making this company hum, so to speak. So.
That's good. I was going to tell him because we don't want to name any awards after him. I want him sticking around for a long time. He's a great asset to us operationally, for sure. So you heard a lot of background, and it's just a real honor and a real privilege from our operational department to be able to look at our fleet each and every month and really drill down in the details and really see those folks that are really standing tall out there amongst our driving fleet, and to be able to name every month a Jamie Smith Driver of the Month. That's going to be a real honor. So we're kicking this off in January. So obviously January's not over yet. So you got a chance yet to be the Jamie Smith Driver of the Month in January when you're seeing this. So keep charging hard ahead. And if you don't make it in January, keep getting those numbers, keep hitting those miles, keep being safe, and doing all the things that are necessary for you to achieve this award. We are excited to be able to announce for the first time, we have 2 new recipients, two new candidates into the Tommy Smith Golden Eagle Million Mile Club, and these are really special. These aren't just million miles. This is 3 million miles. Mike Griplin, 3 million miles, and also Ken Whitehead, 2 million miles. So those are great milestones. One thing, we have 5 now. We will have 5 3 million mile Tommy Smith Golden Eagle Million Mile Club members. And just a note, each one of those folks have said they're not stopping at 3, they're going for 4 or 5 or however more. So we're really excited to be able to recognize Mike and Ken today as the newest members in the Tommy Smith Golden Eagle Million Mile Club.
Tommy, thank you. And Dane, thank you on behalf of Jamie.
Yeah, well, thank you for what you do for us.
Yep, thank you.
Also.
Thanks, Mary, and thanks, Joe.